We walked into A Star Is Born, hearing from people that this is a great movie. It's Bradley Cooper's first directorial debut, aka it's his first movie he's ever directed. And let me tell you something about A Star Is Born. I now I cannot wait to see what Bradley Cooper does next. I cannot wait to see him direct another movie because A Star Is Born is pure cinema gold. A Star Is Born, to me, in my opinion, and I think Ashley would say the same thing because we walked out of this movie loving it. Couldn't stop talking about it afterwards, even though it's an emotional roller coaster of a movie and it's really sad, but it's also really happy in some areas. It put us in a good mood. It's just one of those movies that feel good. It's a movie you walk out and you're just like, man, that was so good, and you're just in a good mood with how good of a movie you just watched. We all know Bradley Cooper from like The Hangover and movies like that, and he's also Rocket Raccoon. You know, I knew that Bradley Cooper had acting chops. I knew that he could act, but I have never seen him on this level. Except for, okay, maybe the closest it comes to is American Sniper. American Sniper was a really, really well done movie. So we've obviously seen him do really well in movies before as a lead actor. Bradley Cooper plays Jack. He's this musician, and this is a completely fictional story. He's basically just a musician that gets drunk, and he doesn't really know where his life is going until he meets Lady Gaga, basically. I honestly, when I was watching this movie, I thought that this was her life story. I believed every second of the whole movie. I actually sat and believed, like, oh, this is like how she became famous, her story. But we found out afterwards, according to Google, it's not. It's actually just based off of a really old movie by the same name. A Star Is Born is an old movie, and this was just the remake that Bradley Cooper, I guess, wanted to do. And it was incredible in thinking, like, that this might have been real because we were so sucked in. It seemed so real and so, like, this movie has so much emotion to it. But before I go really further in, I'll just go ahead and do my negatives first. And my negatives is really only one negative. Through this whole thing, I swear, I searched. I really looked for a negative in this movie, and the only negative I have is maybe they could have shaved off, like 15, 20, maybe even 30 minutes off this movie. Because it felt really long, and near the end, you're kind of like, man, like, how is this going to end? You're not really rushing it, but you do wonder, like, okay, when is it going to end? Because it's Bradley Cooper's first movie. I feel like he probably had complete creative control over this and probably was the say-so and what is kept in. I don't know how any of that works. But I feel like it does feel like his first movie just because they didn't cut out. It doesn't feel like they cut out that much. They probably kept everything that they did. I'd be very curious to buy it on Blu-ray and see the deleted scenes because this is a movie I'm going to be owning as soon as it comes out because it is fantastic. Lady Gaga, I can't even express. I had no idea this woman could act. I know that she seemed to be a great person. I've learned a lot about Lady Gaga over the years, and it seems like, she gives to charity and all this stuff. She's a very humble and very sweet person, but I had no idea that she could act. Whatever Cooper did to, like, bring that acting out in her is just so freaking brilliant. And I would have never thought Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga would have amazing chemistry. I would have never have thought that. This movie grabs you. Literally, this is a movie about two people that love each other, and you believe every step of all of it. Like, their chemistry is amazing. This is a music movie. Jack is a musician, and it's basically her journey to become a musician. There are so many shots, so many cuts that I just were like, oh, that is so, like, while I was watching it, I was just in awe. It was so good. Like, there's this scene where basically, like, she's getting ready to do one of her first concerts, and you could just tell she is so freaking nervous, and you feel that with her. And the way that they do the music scenes, the concerts is like, I can't think of one shot where the camera takes place from the audience. It's always taking place on stage with them, making it really, really, really good and really feel like you are up on stage with them singing these songs. And every song in this movie is great. Jack is basically like this country rock artist, kind of a mixture of both, but I loved every single song. There wasn't one song in this movie that is just kind of like, that's just an okay, like, even though this isn't really my genre, it really was like, wow, these songs are really, really good. And Lady Gaga's voice, like, I realized all of a sudden, like, she is an amazing singer, and mixing that with great acting, like, I don't know how was this possible? Bohemian Rhapsody has some shoes to fill now, because A Star is Born really did a music film really, really well. Probably the best I have seen in a very long time, and definitely the best movie I have seen this year in general, besides Avengers Infinity War. That's a whole other conversation, that's a whole other type of movie. But this type of movie is like the best of the best this year. Sam Elliott is in this movie, and he's basically playing Jack, Bradley Cooper's character, older brother. And you would think it's his dad, right? This is gonna be his dad. No, he's just his really like older brother. And there is one scene that should just be giving Sam Elliott some kind of award for this. But in this shot, there is no dialogue. But what you see in his eyes expressed so much emotion and message through it that it didn't need any dialogue. There was dialogue prior to this moment in the scene, but the way that this was shot, it was basically, I won't go into what it is, but you'll know when you see it in the movie. It's basically just Sam Elliott turning around. Like, it's basically him almost facing the camera, but not quite. His eyes were not at the camera, but they were away from it. But his face, it said it all. Sam Elliott is fantastic. And Dave Chappelle, out of all people, I didn't expect to see him in this thing. But, like, what a great actor. Like, Dave Chappelle, like, actually, in the role that he plays in this movie, I was, like, really, really surprised. And I was blown away. I hope Bradley Cooper feels very, very proud of himself to have done his first directed film and it to be this good. Directors can't always do that. They can't walk into a movie and be like, yeah, I'm gonna make a really good movie. They could try their best, but on the cutting room floor and then after and how critics react to it is what truly matters. And critics are saying this is a great movie, and I walked out definitely feeling like this is a really, really good one. And I was very pleasantly surprised, hooked to the screen the whole time. And these characters have such great chemistry, and the music in the movie, I'm definitely going to be listening to this soundtrack on Spotify because this music is like fantastic. It's moving. There's some scenes where people just sing in the movie, and they're like basically expressing how they're feeling after something happens in the movie in a song. And I won't say what those songs are or what happens, but they basically are expressing their emotion through into that song, and you feel it. I didn't expect to feel anything going into this movie, and I felt it all. Like, it's an emotional roller coaster. It's a sad movie, but it's also a very happy movie. And real quick, this movie's hilarious as well. The comedy in this movie hits perfectly. Like, the writing is so well done, and it couldn't have been done without the writing. It could not have been done without this great script that they did. Very hilarious movie in some parts, but it knows how to take a step back. It knows how to be funny, but the movie also knows how to be very serious. And I loved that about it. I can't express how much you need to go see A Star is Born in theaters soon. If you want to wait for Redbox, it's fine. It's just one of those things. But the experience, the music, all of it that it has is just perfect. I'm going to give A Star is Born a very even 10 out of 10. Only because it being maybe a little shorter could have helped, but that is not a big complaint, like enough to give it like a 9. It's just not it. Like, I feel like that would be cheating and like betraying this film if I gave it a 9 for just needing to be a little shorter. But let me know if you saw it, guys, and let me know if you're going to see it. And thank you guys so much for watching. Please hit that notification bell to be notified when I upload new videos if you're new. And like, share, and subscribe, and all that beautiful stuff, guys. And you beautiful people will seeing me in the next review. I know that I said that there wasn't going to be a movie review until like Creed 2, but I had to review this movie because we went and saw it, and I was just like, I have to review this movie. I have to high praise it, and I cannot wait for more. So thank you guys, and you'll be seeing me in the next one. Drive out, and peace out.